Hello everyone and welcome to the Exsto Athena series. It's good to be getting back into things for 2025, and this is an exciting event because of course Game Changers Split 1 has just happened, but we didn't get to see any of the teams, but we will be seeing them here today. I'm with Cthulhu. How you doing, bro?
Well, doing pretty well. I'm quite excited for tonight's broadcast, for tonight's games, and yeah, like you highlighted, Game Changes, wrapping up for the most of it. But look, the Valorant action does not stop at any point. That train keeps on moving, and yeah, look, plenty of absolutely heated games, I reckon, going to be on today.
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, I mean, we got three matches coming up today. First one is going to be Coven versus POOF, and we do actually have the map veto. It's a best of one, so not too much to talk about, but we are going to be going to Haven. It will have been, I believe, the Poofy Pandas who were the ones that ended up picking the map. Of course, in the best of one, doesn't matter too much, but yeah, we're going to have Coven starting on defense, and hey, I mean, are you excited about Haven? I haven't casted Haven in a hot second.
Oh yeah, it has been a moment since I've got to watch Haven to be really played out. It's one of those maps that I love watching. I absolutely despise playing, just due to the fact just how wide, how big it is. Partially because of my own innate lack of skill, but we're not going to talk much about that. Otherwise, look, it is one of those maps that does favor a pretty sort of well versed lineup that can cover as many roles as possible. The picks for something like a Jet, a Killjoy, Fade, Sky, Astra. Those would be a pretty solid set of choices for the map, and specifically in terms of a duelist, a choice of Jet would be really good just for her absolutely impeccable mobility here as well, and the ability to rotate quickly should the need arise is absolutely key for a map like Haven, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely. And it's also worth talking about, we are playing on the latest patch, which means Waylay is enabled. I don't know if you've looked into much of Waylay, but she's going to be able to bring some pace to the game if any teams do choose to pick her. But also, as you mentioned, like Jet, obviously a very strong pick on Haven. And so, yeah, we are going to be hoping to see, what agent comes out. Because, I mean, if you do pick Waylay over Jet, obviously you might have a little bit of a better entry on your attack side. But then on defense, Waylay's not as good as Opping. I mean, to some degree, you could argue that if you used that refract to, get out of trouble, maybe good option. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to see what these teams go for. We are just waiting for them to be ready. They are all in the lobby, but just waiting for the ready messages to come through.
Yeah, I'm thinking about this as well. Given that obviously a variety of different comps does have a good amount of different metas as well, maybe even a Tejo to be brought out would be actually a pretty decent idea, just given just how much of the aggressive util there is to come out of him as a duelist.
Yeah, absolutely. As now we are going to be going into the agent select. As yeah, I'm excited to see where we're gonna end up going. I mean, it's like I mentioned, Coven starting on the defense, and Tejo, just as you said, locked in. Okay, so we are going to be seeing some of this newer meta with the Tejo breach. Other than that, fairly traditional with Jet, Cypher, Omen, very like mainstay agents here on Haven. But on the other side of things, we've got a more Fnatic-esque comp with a Yo ISO. So I'm excited. We're seeing 3 different duelists, double Tejo. Okay, well, this is gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing here for both sides, really, because on one hand, for the defense, players like Cypher, players like Omen, like Breach as well, going to be very quintessential for just slowing things down before the rest of the team can rotate over. Whereas for the attacking side, I mean, the Euro pick is absolutely phenomenal for those quick rotates and the backline pushes. The ISO is perfect for the front line. On top of that, again, Breach, one of the personal favorite agents as well, is one of those pretty universally good at the moment agent that can do quite a lot of just disruption overall around the site. So I'm keen. I'm down to see how this chaos will unveil.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, and looks like we have loaded in, so let's head on over to the game. As of course it
Sure.
is Coven and Poofy Pandas. Looks like all the overlay tech is working. Oh, maybe it's not. Nope. Yep, there's no players with an operator in the game. That's not great. Hold on.
Look, I mean, in the meantime, I'll get to do a bit of coverage. It does seem like it is going to be a pretty full-on push towards the C site here from the what I'm assuming is the Coven roster. Yeah, it is. Look, Coven should have a pretty solid, actually, grasp on how things are looking to go with just capturing the site itself. What will matter quite a fair bit is how will they interact with those strip mines that have been already set up by the Cypher, but otherwise,
Time to jump.
This should be a pretty curious case.
And it looks like we're going to be starting off over towards the C site. Quick TP in from G. They're going to run into the trip. There is no one watching it, so Coven will be able to get the site pretty much for free here. Trip going to come out just to try and stall that retake.
Nice and quick as well on the setup as well. A few of the initial engagements will be coming through the garage and then the CT, but otherwise, yeah, this is looking to be a pretty promising time for Coven.
Yep. Okay, one of them goes down. Yeah, they're all playing on site here. They only have one player all the way in main, and they're the only one remaining. It is still. And, oh, Jules, they've gone down, and it looks like... Okay, we're definitely having some overlay problems. Yeah. Oh, I think we might have to go to a tech pause just after this.
All things considered, in the meantime as well, yeah, the Coven roster has actually managed to really hold themselves down pretty well for a little bit, but the defense, unfortunately, end up coming on through, unless I'm reading this wrong, and it is Coven on the defense instead.
Yeah, it is Coven on the defense. We do have
yeah.
complete wrong things going on here.
I got bamboozled there for a sec.
Yeah, no, that's all good. Okay, we are going to go to a quick tech pause, but we will be right back. Hopefully with a bit of a fix, so we'll be right back.
I'll crush your eyes, Amir.
It's alright. A bit of nothing like a bit of bootleg to start off the day. Just get all the initial issues out of the way, and we'll come back even better for some of the better, well, some of the further games. Surely.
Time to jump.
Already, the Poofy Pandas actually does come on through with the utmost wipe, really, of Coven's defense, as the initial take of the A site does bring on in the ultimate doom. Really, it's all down to the last two players of Coven, really, and one would think that maybe saving up a Spectre wouldn't be a bad idea here, but it does seem like they're still gonna try to at least do some sort of economy damage maybe here on the swing.
One enemy remaining.
Oh! Ay. Yeah, not the best turnaround here, really, that Coven wanted to see, especially after winning out the first round. Would have been a much better turnaround if the clutch did actually end up coming on through. But look, still massive kudos for Cartel as well, given that she was able to really put on quite the performance, and just unfortunately, yeah, the slight moment of doubt ended up costing the round. But look, still fairly far off from the conclusion, still a 1-1, and there's plenty of possibilities here for how things will really go. But this will still allow Poofy Pandas to really play in further wide. Ding does come on to eventually perfectly well. Carino gets the better of the last one was wielding fast to complete the domination. I say that though, still a play from Cardal that is available with the Marshal. Atlas.
Cage trigger.
Oh, right.
Okay, you guys should be able to hear me now.
To the void. Okay,
oh my gosh, this is a bit of a disaster for map 1, but it's okay, guys. This is day 1, stream 1 things. We will get this fixed for the next map. But yeah, I mean, for Poofy Pandas, this is being executed pretty well here after winning their eco round. Of course, now they're going to be looking to make their economy that much stronger.
Yeah. As it stands, this is a pretty solid setup and good rotation, and well, move away from the initial engagement that was already there. So all things considered, yeah, there's even with the breach stun, still managing to find the frag at the end of it all actually works out pretty well, all things considered. So as it stands, Poofy Pandas are actually doing extremely well here with their lineup, with the way how they're controlling the pacing, and honestly, the snowball effect has been actually really good. But we do now get a full buy. Well, I say full buy. A few of the players from the defense of Coven did manage to bring out the heavy armor. I believe one of them does bring in the light armor as well. So not the most ideal situation economy-wise, but this is still much better than what we got to see from them last round. So one would hope that they will be able to slowly but surely adjust, as this is going to be another landslide in a second.
Yeah, well, it's going to be Poofy Pandas creeping their way up towards the seaside just to start things off here. Of course, Barbie going to be trying their best to hold that on their own, but, you know, when you're a solo Cypher, you've got your trips to play off, sure, but it's only a single one, the other one just for info on Garage. And I think, sensing that, the Poofy Pandas don't want anything to do with it. They're running all the way over back towards the A site. Two players waiting. G going to be clearing this out with a dimensional drift. Spotted one backside. Denali going to have to fall back, but the stun is perfect just to try and help hold on to the site.
Spike down.
Have it on the way of Coven. Mummy Panda, 2 quick kills in reply. The spike has not gone down
I
yet.
got the spike.
All 6 players remaining, all grouped here towards the A site. This retake could come in at any second. All the players are ready to go for it. The missiles slightly badly timed. Not going to do too much damage at all. But now with
Yeah,
post
quite an
plant.
unfortunate
Yeah,
turnaround, yeah, really, with the timing.
Yeah, post plant settling in now. Stun going to come through. Catch onto the player in graffiti and jumping out of heaven straight into the crosshairs of Poofy Panda. Oh, the 3v3 retake doesn't go the way of Coven at all. In fact, it will be the Poofy Pandas who will extend their lead that much further, and well, for Coven, they're going to be back down to an eco round.
Yeah, for Coven, yeah, the economy was really relying on them getting to win that previous round. Unfortunately, things did not pan out as well as they could. So back down to the Sheriffs and the light armor as their buy, whereas on the side of Poofy Pandas, look, they're swimming in money right now. And the double kill at the end from Pow Pow really managed to ramp things up even more. I do like to mention as well, the fact that Poofy Pandas so far been able to really find their pacing and just identify where will be the better place to go has been almost phenomenal, really, with just the sheer amount of intuition in terms of where the stack mainly is being created by the Coven.
Yeah, it's been excellent so far. I mean, they've started pretty much every round going towards the C site. That's going to reveal some trips straight off the bat just using that clone. Seeing some of the benefits, perhaps, of playing Yo, you're able to send out essentially a body for free, and it's gonna come back and give you all that information. Yeah. This case is revealing the position of a trip, but not clearing their corners. This could be an eco round win for Coven. Sonali with a quick 2-piece, Fungi with one as well.
Clearing out. Absolutely phenomenal turnaround here.
Yeah, for Poofy Pandas there, they would have been better off just walking into the C site, I reckon.
30 seconds left.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The seaside is a perfect idea really to play. Just as I actually said,
One enemy remaining.
The decision making in terms of the positioning
Thrifty.
all falls apart at the end. It's just a pretty quick conclusion, courtesy of Fungi as well, to wrap it all up. The Sheriff is somehow working out even more, or rather even better than the whole rifle buy, which look. I'm not saying anything, but it's definitely going to be quite a roller coaster of a match, I feel. Atlas.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's not only a thrifty round, but a flawless thrifty. And I mean, it's really brought Coven straight back into things.
Perfect turnaround, really here. Another push towards the A side, though, will mean that the breach stun to come on through to get the initial feelers out, and maybe, just maybe, a full commit to come on through, as maybe now this will be the signal. But it's interesting to see that Coven are actually pretty well reserved in terms of their rotation as of now.
Yeah. Once again, just apologies for the quality on the stream right now. We will have this fixed for the next map. We just have to deal with this for now. But once again, a slow start from Coven. This time, working their way up towards B. Tahoe immediately going to be taken down. Flash in response, but yeah. I don't know, it's definitely not ideal for defense. The site has been cracked open, but with the breach and Teo Yuto,
Spike down.
it's actually being held back. The spike is not going to go down. Quick flank out from Cypher, and well, Poofy Pandas have been stuck in their tracks, and Pow not going to be able to get much more done.
Oh my god, that flank from Hardy as well was absolutely disgustingly good as well, I have to say. Just the few quick flicks as well whilst getting the information out to the team. Managed to do just the right time. And interesting to see that actually on the attacking side, Poofy Panda's deciding to call in the timeout, which is a pretty curious case, given that, it's good to see that they are identifying that they're starting to lose their momentum. Maybe it's the tilt that is starting to come through early, or maybe just, well, not fully warmed up. But good to see that this sort of problem gets identified nice and early before any sort of real big damage has been dealt.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's definitely always good to see an early timeout. It'll be a chance for this team to collect themselves, see what they would like to be doing differently. In this case, yeah, I mean, I don't know necessarily what the adjustment is. I mean, they've been playing pretty slowly. Maybe you want to speed things up. You do have that double duelist. You gotta maybe see if you can make that work with the ISO Yo, try and speed things up a little bit, but...
Yeah, I think maybe it's more so the fact that, yeah, Yoru may not be getting at least the full support, or maybe Yoru goes a little bit too deep into the side as well, and that could be as well partial problem. I feel for the Poofy Pandas roster is that maybe it's instead of the question of the undercommitment, it's overcommitment to a certain play here. So I'm all for it. I'm all keen to see how that will really work out. But it seems like right now it's a bit of a hesitant play, an attempt to go for a mid, maybe for a barrage, but the early picks doesn't seem to be on the horizon really here for the Poofy Pandas roster.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was an early camera out, so Fabi on Kovan would have gotten a fair amount of information from that. That Poofy Pandas are heading towards mid. And once again, we've got Fungi here, Breach player, ready to send that util out, full kit in the pocket. Of course, if you look at the mini-map, we've got 3 players on Kovan pushing out on the flank. They've both got the Cypher trips, and so this is going to be pretty tough for Poofy Pandas to hold on to. I mean, of course, it's an eco round, right? You know, you're not expecting them to win, but when you're kind of surrounded like this on the minimap, it's going to be a tough one if they do end up coming in here towards B.
This already with a full
30 seconds left. Spike planted.
Finally, now does open up the nice with a double actually, and this is a huge opener here for Kovan to actually completely escalate things even further, I reckon, with the utility.
Yeah, well, as we mentioned, retake going to be coming in from all angles, and yeah, it'll be a bit difficult for Poofy Pandas there to hold on to it.
Yeah, fairly decent really turnaround here for Kovan, really starting to really bring it all back. It was a bit of a rough beginning, I have to say, with the second round being sort of lost out and allowing Poofy Pandas to really, you know, snowball out of that position in their own favor. I feel put Kovan onto a bit of a questionable position, but look, they managed to really bring it back. That Sheriff round, the matter of fact, a flawless Sheriff round that really turned things around, certainly has brought its own dividends, at the very least already a point, or rather a round advantage. The one saving grace here for the Poofy Pandas roster is that they did manage to get the full buy, so well, maybe this one will be the one to, you know, get started their own momentum here. But
yeah,
who knows? Euro entry in.
On my mind. Here.
Yeah, gonna be a very pacey hit. Like we mentioned, maybe a chance for that Yo ISO to make good work. Dimensional Drift has already cleared the site, and the first kill's gone the way of the Poofy Pandas. Spike gonna get planted, and well, now Poofy Pandas should, by all means, have this round in the bag. I mean, you look at the ultimates that they have. They've still got, of course, the ISO ultimate, Breach ultimate, great post plants. We'll see if they will have to invest any of them, although Mudmy Panda has just gone down, so maybe you're looking to Pow Pow and thinking, oh no, you can't even use the Breach ult anymore. Oh, this has gone terribly wrong for Poofy Pandas. This was the round you needed. You had the guns, it's all down to Jules and a 1v4, and it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, not a favorable really turnaround here for Poofy Pandas, despite a good entry into the site and getting the plan done. It's unfortunately the final parts of the round that are just all unfortunately falling apart for them. They are able to go for at least sort of, well, half eco buy really with the introduction of the Guardian as well as the Spectre and a Frenzy, even a Vandal as well to pop through for Pow Pow. So a bit of a slightly broken buy, but all things considered can still do quite a fair bit of damage. The problem being is that Carino is the one that is running with the op as well, and that is going to be a very, very painful lesson that the Poofy Pandas may learn if they are not too careful.
Yeah, We talked about it before the game started that, you know, Haven is a map where the operator can play a pretty heavy role. Often, as far as the map theory goes, you want, you know, an op on A main or C long, and then stack the rest of your players elsewhere on the map, and that's exactly what they're doing here. But with Sonali going down, that's going to make the C side a little bit weaker, but it's also where the it's also didn't mean to hear the players there. Maybe a bit of a miss tap on that hotkey there, but hey, we got the op holding the line. But is that going to be enough to hold on to the C site? Of course, Poofy Pandas might just reconsider their options. It is a 4v4, so still plenty of time to explore elsewhere.
Yeah, not the best situation as well, with Teho being lost out in the initial gunfight. His ultimate would have been absolutely perfect here to really watch play out and clear out the site as well. But in reality, this is still a good opportunity for Coven to bring it all
30
back. 4
seconds
versus
left.
4, 30 seconds remaining. The push needs to happen, and I think this one may come out of more so a desperation rather than a calculated push. But regardless, let's see how Barbie will be able to hold her site.
Cage trigger.
Yeah, absolutely. It's only the Cypher player here. The right call has been made, but the trip has gotten the
10
first
seconds
kill.
left.
Spike going to be going down.
Spike
Still
planted.
another trip on site. Is that another kill? Oh, I think it might have
boy.
been. Yeah, that's not great for the Poofy Pandas, of course. This is a bit of a half-buy situation. Not necessarily expected to win it, but
Last player standing.
you know, they had the right read. They just couldn't quite get rid of those trips. Oh, and the missed shots not going too well with that either.
Quite an unfortunate turnaround here, really, for Poofy Pandas, because they started off really well. And I mean, you're looking at the scoreline, Pow Pow as well, going already double digits for herself, looking really, really well, potent with the playstyle that she's been able to really introduce here. Whereas on the side of Coven, look, things have been looking a little bit sort of, well, initially looked rather a little bit sideways, didn't really go particularly too well as much as they hoped to see. But I mean, looking at the performances so far, you know, getting to see even Fungi really get amongst it all has been absolutely a phenomenal result on the Coven's end.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, now for Poofy Pandas, now that you've got the weapons, surely we should be seeing these ultimates be used. Trip cleared immediately by Pow Pow. Are they going to invest the Rolling Thunder here, or are they going to try and save it for the post plants? They're all here ready to hit the site, and it looks like that's starting to come out now. Spike should go down. There's not really anyone close enough to start a flood retake, so choice of post plant positionings. Bit of a friendly fire there. That ISO
not
undercut.
ideal, really.
Yeah.
Especially with the damage that could really come on through. At least the location has been revealed, and yeah, the pre-fire was just clinical here, dropping down right into the pit of death. This is not looking too good. Convenient will need to land the shots.
Yeah, but it can't do it with the operator. Not the ideal weapon to be, you know, trying to go for a retake with. And looks like Poofy Pandas might just be able to hold their ground on the site. Mummy Panda with a 4-piece. As that's exactly what they needed. And they didn't even use any ultimates. I mean, I keep talking about these ultimates, but I mean, Pow Pow just seems to want to keep this breach ult in the pocket. There's only 2 rounds left to use it, so surely we should be seeing it come out relatively soon.
At least, look, I would imagine that, yeah, within either this round or next round, they will get to come out as, even if just to, you know, throw a bit of a spanner in the works, all things considered. But look, yeah, a bit of a kerfuffle from Coven. They sort of bunched up at that choke point quite a fair bit, and after that, the death of the Cypher as well, things did not really look particularly too favorable. I do love seeing that there is already a little bit more of the comfortable, well, rather comfort for the engagement starting to come through, especially from Pow Pow, but unfortunately with her out of the equation, things are looking rather difficult here for Poofy Pandas, I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, this is, once again, bit of a sticky situation. You've already lost 2 players. You don't have your breach ult anymore, so it's going to be pretty difficult to make anything out of this. And not only that, but the flank, Barbie is hearing everything. No one on the C site to try and stop this hit, but there's also no one on the side of Poofy Pandas who was even considering that there could be someone walking out behind them as they make their way onto the C site. They still have to deal with the trips, and all of Coven is here and ready to retake. So if we look to the flank, yeah, this can't go well, surely. Barbie's got the first already, Spike denied. So stun comes through, that's got all the players of Poofy Pandas. Beautiful util to come out from Coven. And it will be them taking the
Last
lead in the
round
half,
before the
7-4.
Yeah, huge turnaround already, really here for Coven. Even if they do wrap up the half with only with just the 7 points, even then already a 3-round buffer should allow them a pretty comfortable zone. Even if, say for example, the pistol round will be lost out on them. So all things considered, look, this is a pretty promising run. Another thing as well worth mentioning is, given that it is a BO1, the nature of each and every one of the rounds will be that much more impactful, especially for the first play day to kick it all off. It will be quite a very, well, a very strong beginning here for whichever team does come out the victor here, and to be able to set the early pace will be quite beneficial, just even in the mental department.
Yeah, absolutely. As for this last round and a half, the best that the Poofy Pandas can hope for is a 7-5, but once again, first kills just haven't gone their way. They're just walking straight into the crosshairs of Coven. This has gone terribly for them. As now they have to go on a bit of a crusade to even pick up the spike, to even have a chance. Is Barbie ready and waiting, holding the cross, or just deciding to tuck. Decisions, you know, you don't want to give yourself away for free when you're in a 5v2, but also, it's a 5v2. So, you know,
Exactly.
You can go exploring a little bit if you'd really like to.
Well, it's worth mentioning as well. Bobby has been a very key flank player as well for Coven as well. So with her ability to play it all out would have been perfect. But the problem being is that both of the parties completely ignored each other and gone the completely polar opposite way. Despite the call that should be coming on through for the utility pretty soon as well, given that the Euros util should have came on through. Carino will be the one on the receiving end.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, and she's found G as well. So it looks like it will be shut down completely. Yeah, flawless round. It's 8-4 to Coven. Things didn't start off great for them, losing the pistol. But yeah, after they... Oh no, they didn't. Sorry, they won the pistol and then lost the eco round 3 rounds in a row. And it looked like things were maybe going badly for them, but... You know, they got straight back into things, and now they find themselves at a pretty sizable advantage.
Oh yeah. Yeah, with a 4-point advantage now against the Poofy Pandas, Coven's got a really solid lead going for them. Already a pretty good performance coming out of Fungi, out of Barbie, Carino as well. So this is all looking really promising. On top of that, let me just quickly confirm before I say that. I believe, yeah, so Coven are also playing with a sub. Carino is their sub and currently the highest performing player on the roster for this match, which is already quite a sizable statement, I have to say.
Yeah, absolutely. So now we swap over. It is worth mentioning, of course, that, you know, this is a map where the attack tends to be favored. And with Coven already having 8 rounds, we might potentially be looking at a pretty fast... Oh no! Oh, Sonali's taken down Carino with the missiles. That's unfortunate.
Spike planted.
Oh no.
Fungi is still there to keep on fighting the fight, and Sonali still has a little bit more of the util, but yeah, things are looking pretty grim. At the very least, the plant did go down, so at least there's some point of understanding as to where the push will be coming from, especially now that Teho used the drone as well. So this is going to be a perfect opportunity for a stun from Breach.
Yeah, perfect stun at that, and she's managed to get both. Coven, a great recovery. I believe that was a 2v4. I don't know how they managed to do that. I mean, a bit of a disaster on the entry there. I think Carino went dashed through a trip, and then Sonali's missiles somehow managed to take her out. But the trades came through eventually, and I mean, somehow they managed to win themselves the round.
The way how I'm seeing this is that this was a necessary blood ritual here. They needed to sacrifice Carino, the highest performing player of the roster, just to get to enhance the rest of the team. And I mean, look, it worked out. 9-4 says it all, honestly. And with only, I believe, 4 more rounds remain, or rather 4 more points remaining for Coven to score, this should be a pretty straightforward run. Now that they also the ones with the bye.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, we could see another situation where the anti-eco round does not go the way of the team that should be favored. That's, of course, what happened earlier on this game. The Poofy Pandas, I don't know, something about them so far. I feel like you can have a little bit more faith in them, as they've actually gone straight through the B site, and they look like they want to hit A. Unless they've just, no, they're if reconsidered, they're going to be planted on the B site. Yeah, that ISO shield come out, the double tap. It's actually gotten the first kill onto Barbie, just with a classic of all things. Snarly got to be careful as well, fighting on her own. Oh, this is dangerous, but Carino is just going for it. She's managed to find both, and an excellent line from Fungi. This has been cleaned up beautifully by Coven. Of course, better weapons in their hands, so it's a bit of eco-fragging. But, you know, when you lose the first kill, you still definitely got to be scared.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Especially in the case of how for Poofy Pandas things looked pretty grim the moment that the initial swing and the double kill came out for Carino, that flank collapsing, meaning that the rest of the team could really focus on where the remaining defenders were. Coven are doing pretty well, and all things considered, they are in a very comfortable space. Money-wise, things are looking pretty promising as well, should they need, and it doesn't even look like they're wanting really to buy up on into the full buy. With the way how they managed to really position themselves as well, it was a pretty solid turnaround, with them being able to really capture the right position for the engagements, where it's all in their favor. It is up to them to really take on, not the gunfight. So things are very, very well based right now for Coven. On the side of Poofy Pandas, though, look, it's I feel like it's a element of panic that is starting to settle in here.
Yeah, well, just a 1-for-1 to start things off with. As well as that, the C site is completely open for Coven to get the spike down. They have lost their own flank watch though, so definitely reason to be concerned, but also with that being said, they are very aware of the possibility with their own Cypher playing going down, their own Cypher play going down, that the flank is open here. But for Poofy Pandas, go in that direction. It's just going to be a retake coming out of Garage and Defender Spawn. Castle in the corner, a bit stuck for now. Cleared. Oh, spotted, but not cleared. Cardle's actually managed to get two. Throws out the paranoia. Can't quite find Jules, so down to a 1v1. Rifle upgraded. But time is ticking, and of course Unali has those missiles that can come out. That's going to stall for so long. I don't think there's any chance. Oh, it's once again the missile to find the kill. Bonus converted for Coven. Cthulhu, this is not looking good for Poofy Pandas.
Oh yeah, this is indeed, yeah, very, very rough turnaround here for Poofy Pandas. Things looked pretty promising in the beginning for the first 4 rounds, and yeah, after that it just all went, unfortunately, very much downhill for them. I do have to, though, give them big kudos. A fair few rounds did look like they were about to go Poofy Panda's way, which is, unfortunately, it is the late game that just ended up betraying them quite thoroughly, and just things did not pan out too well. Partially, I'll say maybe the caster curse came in at the worst possible time, but look, all things considered, Poofy Pandas do play their game really, really well here.
Once again, back down to an eco with a half buy. SMG is coming out, and the hits coming fast through C and, of course, Garage. TP in for Cardle. Hasn't cleared back sight, but a good trade from Fungi. Sonali as well getting in on the action. There is players on the back side. Bella maybe got away with a bit more than what was maybe expected out of that position with a Spectre. So now, once again, down to a 2v2. I mean, like you said, give them credit. Like, Poofy Pandas, a lot of these rounds have been close, you know, even numbers in these post-plant situations. They just haven't been able to convert them nearly as much as Coven.
Yeah, it's the one last extra step that seems to be missing out. Now, for the current situation, Poofy Pandas, actually a good use of the ISO ult. Now, question being is, will Mummy Panda be able to actually win out the duel? Unfortunately, that is not the case. It's all down to GN. She has only a Stinger as well to boot. Now a Guardian to upgrade, but things are not particularly too favorable. Crossfire galore and the Breach stun as well are not the kind of situations that you want to put yourself in. And yeah, with the timer ticking away, that is yet another round to claim. playing in favor of Coven. One more round remaining here, Atlas, and it is not looking like
Match
Poofy
point.
Pandas have any
end
sort
this.
of pulse here.
Yeah, I mean, you said one round, it's match point, but you know, you never know. Poofy Pandas could come back with another one. But yeah, it is definitely definitely worth mentioning that this is a best of one. So Coven looking posed to take this one away. Like you said, Carino is putting up absolute numbers. 18 and 6.
yeah.
I mean, that's
It is
crazy.
insane.
While being the sub
Yeah.
as well, I mean, you take what you get.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, this has been a pretty perfect turnaround here for Coven, all things considered, given that, yeah, playing with a sub, not the ideal, you know, situation where you probably would want to have the full core lineup to play it out the most optimally, but here it feels like Carino has been part of the core roster from the very get-go, the way how she's been performing, and yeah, that scoreline tells just the perfect story for that. On top of that as well, playing as a Jet, she was able to really still keep up with the rest of the team, not really going too overzealous, knowing exactly when to overextend, when to fall back and help the rest of the team. It's been a genuine pleasure watching her play her role out really, really well here.
Absolutely. As the timer has started once again, timeout. Having some final discussions here. Of course, still timeouts remaining for both teams, I believe. Actually, not too sure which. Oh, actually, no. I think no timeouts left for Poofy Pandas, but regardless. Nope, it's do or die now. This is, you know, gotta start the ball rolling now. That day ultimate gonna clear out the backside of A. Say speed on in.
Yeah, right now it's going to be quite crucial to maybe get some sort of momentum out of the Cypher ult, but even then, that means they need to engage.
Yeah. Paranoia to stall this retake coming in. It was excellently timed. No one's managed to get out of this choke point. Barbie spots some players in heaven, but they've got to be able to hold on to these positions. Quick 1-for-1. But again, not much progress from the Poofy Pandas, and they're falling one by one. Bungie with the Rolling Thunder in pocket. She's gonna bring it out now. She tastes the win. The Dimensional Drift isn't gonna be affected. Oh, it's been dodged! And Coven, they will win this series, win this best of one.
Whew, all right. Yeah, that's that for the matchup of the Coven versus the Poofy Pandas roster. And look, man, Atlas a 13-4 to kickstart our day. That's one hell of a conclusion. I'll have to give it to Coven. They came into this quite prepared and certainly felt like Haven was one of their more of a comfort pick maps, really going into the matchup. Where now, look in retrospect, looking at the second to fourth round, it may have more so been a case of just them trying to just recover their economy, recovering their util, and just getting themselves up and running. Because right after that Sheriff flawless round that they brought on out, it felt like they even back then already on round 5 started putting the final few nails into the coffin of Poofy Panda's success.
Yeah, absolutely. A bit of a stomp from after that first hiccup at the beginning. But yeah, hey, it is what it is. It's just still group stages, of course. You know, still plenty of rounds left to play. Hey, that's going to be it for this first match. We're going to be going to a quick break for now, but we will be right back once this first round has concluded and we have the next matchups all ready to go. So don't go anywhere. And once again, also apologies for the production there. We had a bit of a hiccup with the overlay, but hopefully we will get that all fixed for the next game, which if I take a look, actually, we're going to be going to Rapid versus Brat Division after this. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Hello everyone, we have returned. Welcome back to the Exsto Athena series. It's been a little bit of a wait to get all these new teams in, but hey, we've got two brand new teams, Rapid versus Brat Division. Cthulhu, are you looking forward to this game?
Honestly, yeah, I'm quite keen to see how these two teams will really play it all out, given that first round has already concluded. I believe it was Brat that came out with an even more of a dominant score, something across the lines of what was it, something like 13 to 3, 13 to 2. Yeah. I just got corrected as well. Yeah, so that is already a pretty solid scoreline to get started with. So it should set a pretty interesting precedent here going into this specific map, as we once again get to see the a pretty robust, pretty open map. This time there were only 2 sites, so in terms of how the team setups are going to be made here, it's going to be a bit more of a consistent one. We'll probably get to see, especially for the defense, a bit of a heavier lean towards somebody even like Killjoy will be quite quintessential here. I would imagine somebody like a Cypher will be a very perfect pick here. I'd even go to the extent and say maybe even, an out-of-pocket Brimstone pick wouldn't be a bad shout as well to boot, really. But otherwise, look, yeah, Split is one of those maps that has been sort of on and off. Community's favorite, and then it turned into the hated map, and then it became the favorite again. So I'm keen. I'm excited to see how really Split will work itself out.
Yeah, definitely. Well, anyways, with that being said, it looks like we are just about to get into the map. So let's have a look at what these teams are picking. And it's definitely good that you've brought up this point of Sentinels, because, we're in this new meta where, Killjoy used to be dominant, but now we're seeing a few, now that Deadlock and Vise have been released, we're seeing them a little bit more come out. Obviously, Cypher always has been good on Split, and it looks like that's what Rapid are going for. They're going to be starting on the defense. Whereas for the other side of Brat Division, looks like they might be going for just a Sage for their Sentinel. So very old school, but also combining things with a Tejo Breach comp. So a bit of old school, bit of new school. But otherwise, mostly similar comps apart from the Smoker and Sentinel.
Yeah, see, I'm quite liking the choice of Astra here as well for the attack on the side of Brat as well, because Astra is one of those agents that can be played relatively aggressively as well with her util, the ability to pull as well, the smokes that can be organized basically from anywhere on the map. And the Astral Split as well is absolutely a great piece of utility, honestly, when it's ready to go. And whereas on the side of the defense from the Rapid roster, I'm quite keen to see how the combination of Tejo plus Raze will really work out here, given that sort of combo in terms of the damage deal is going to be absolutely nutty. And then to top it all off, the usual suspects, the Breach, the Omen, the Cypher. We got to see them come out last game, and their utility was absolutely perfect.
Anyways, looks like we are in the game, so it's going to be, as we've mentioned, Rapid starting on defense, and of course, Brat Division on attack. Now, we are unfortunately not able to use the nice overlay. It is not working for whatever reason. Although, actually, hold on. Yeah, no, it's not working today. We'll see if we can get that fixed for tomorrow. But we do have higher quality now, which is always nice.
Awesome. Straight from the get-go, though, already quite a fair bit of an accelerated push actually towards the B side already.
Yeah, but it's all fake. It's beautifully played from Brat Division. They throw a ton of util over towards B, and the push immediately comes out on A, directly into 2 waiting players. And now for Brat Division, they've called to rotate back towards the B site, maybe clear up through mid. There's still a trip that has to be dealt with. Milwaukee will go down first. Flip holding her ground. Oh, a 2 for 1. Not too bad. Bringing things a little bit closer to even here. 2 versus 3 for Rapid.
Flip did a really good job at holding the position as well. Also now Milky Way will need to really play the cards right with aggro as well.
Last player standing.
That would have been a great opportunity, but unfortunately, it just flooded the site. Brat Division coming out pretty much swinging, really. And yeah, like you highlighted, the perfect fake out to get the initial 2 frags basically sealed the deal really fairly early on into the round.
BYB fam.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, we're gonna see what the attacking buy is gonna look like. Another thing we haven't really talked about today is to see how these teams want to play their anti-eco round. Obviously, last game we saw an anti-eco get lost. Here for Brat Division, it's gonna be Spectres, Stinger, and a Marshal. So, you know, fair collection of guns to go around. And Rapid, it's gonna be some aggression here in A main, grabbing the orb and just pushing up right into the waiting arms of Malaki and Athena, and they've gotten everyone. Beautifully played. Do they expect AGRC to be here? No, they haven't cleared her. Malaki goes down, but Athena there with the trade. Now, I believe Athena, they've named themselves that, but if I'm looking at my list correctly, I believe they go by Sabi. So if anyone knows who that is, that's who's playing on the Athena account. We don't have Athena from Tier 1, 100 Thieves, smurfing in Oceania event. Don't worry.
That would have been one hell of a turnaround.
Yeah, I mean, imagine just trying to play. Just trying to play an event in OCE and then you run into a Tier 1 player from America. That'd be crazy. But anyways, the round is going to go to Brat Division very cleanly as well, only losing a Stinger. So they're going to be quite happy with that, I would imagine.
For a fight.
Oh, absolutely some solid turnaround here, really, for the round number 2 here for Brat Division. The way they managed to really, you know, shut it all down pretty quickly. And once again, you have the Stinger coming in really big, allowing to gain even more money as well for the further rounds. Overall, I have to say, yeah, this is looking still very promising. The one good thing as well to mention is that the full buy is in full effect here for both teams, so this is going to be pretty accelerated straight from the get-go.
Yeah, it's going to be Mofus and Cat. I believe that's Simi playing on that account at the moment. I actually used to coach Cine and Malaki, so, you know, 2 players I'm familiar with, and Cine is going to be leading the charge here on the Raze. Be pushing down to stairs, perhaps, with a Spectre. Not the best weapon, but in a close range fight, could perhaps win it out, and Chisel's going to go down. The retreat with the team. Oh no, they're fighting forward, it's 3! How on earth did that happen? But Flip gets 3 in return.
Defender spawn.
All back down to even numbers. AGRC still on site. It's all down to Malaki. Supportive player on the Astra, position revealed, but she's snuck past AGRC, but her position's known. But once again, slipping through. Flip knows what's coming for her, and she just is not aware of the rear. And it will be the bonus round denied in a fairly chaotic fashion. What a round that was.
So far a pretty big turnaround really here on the side of the Rapid. Really good return to form. Finally, we did get to see a little bit more of a bite back, albeit it was from just the 2 players between Flip and AGRC, but what a turnaround it was. I mean, the triple from Flip to absolutely tip the scales back into the defense favor has done just the right wonders here. But otherwise, I'm looking at this, and this is a pretty good return to form, all things considered. Certainly feels less of the fact that they just started letting it slip, and it was more so just, you know, a landslide of the economy that didn't particularly pan out too well from the beginning.
Yeah, well, unfortunately though, this is a full buy round for both teams, and a bit of a missed smoke by HRC. Either it was missed or it was meant to be a one-way, but either or, it does get used against her. She will go down, and that means no smoke's going to be available for the side of Rapid. Lucky gonna get another one, so 4v3 now, definitely in the favor of Brat Division here, and they've already snuck up here into Mail. Look at where the players on Rapid are playing. I mean, they're so far back. I mean, sure, you've got a Cypher set up on B, but no one's really even watching Heaven. Brat Division can sneak all the way up, and well, Rapid will be none the wiser until contact is made. They're playing silent. They're going down the rope silently. They have no idea.
this is a perfect opportunity here,
seconds left.
albeit already the footsteps are all loud and clear here, so the plant will be very much now announced, but already the damage has been dealt out. A fair bit of the util is starting to come on through, the breach stun as well, but that's all Milky Way might actually get a huge opportunity here, but no, does get shut down and overwhelmed.
Yeah, but of course we still have this flank that we have to be aware of. Hasn't been seen, maybe not even aware from the side of Rapid. Sure, they've brought things back down into a winnable position, favorable even. But Athena, they've come round, but they're watched for. It's all down to Skyrus, and she can't get it done. It will be Echo, the one to win that out.
I can play by the book from time to time.
Rapid coming in big as well at the, well, what was a very dire situation given the flank, given the fact that they descended from the Haven, meaning that they gave up the high ground as well, and still managing to bring it all back shows just the right amount of resilience here at the end. So all things considered, good response so far, but 2-all. Curious to see if there's going to be any more response here from Brat Division, given that we are back to a relatively healthy buy. I say that though, only 2 heavy shields to coming out from the attackers, and that is for Morphosan, Cat, and Skyrus as well. So 2 of the big frontliners will have to take the brunt of the damage here as well, especially for what looks like it is going to be an A push.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually kind of surprising that Brat Division are able to put together a buy at all, to be honest. I mean, normally when you you know, lose your bonus and then you're on to lose the next round, normally you're in an eco, but they have managed to scrape together some guns, and it's not to say that Rapid are in an excellent position either. They've had to bring in a Bulldog or 2 of their own. And oh, that entry, oh no, a little bit goofed there, but are they aware that Shra is in this position? He's behind the Astro Wall, and well, if we get a swing through, it might spell disaster, as that Astro Wall, the Cosmic Divide, is about to fall, and they see each other. Milky Way will win the fight, looking in the right direction. Result sends out the Aftershock to try and clear it out. Are they ready for Simi? They are. HRC will win out the fight in Defender spawn, and so now we settle back into a 4 versus 4 post-plant. Some ultimates available for Brat Division, of course. That KO ult, never mind, it's off the board. Not available anymore. And actually, Rapid, they're fighting back into this. They've managed to find everyone except for Maliki, who's staying alive. Shooting down too, but not enough.
Shut up and
oh, they might have had enough time. The Sage Wall might have just won the round.
Maybe.
It's won it.
Quite possibly. Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh. They didn't have enough time to Sage Wall. It's a bit of a cheese strat, but it works out. I mean,
last moment as well.
Yeah, let's just look at that. I mean, it's just not enough time.
Let me work.
Yeah. There's quite the unfortunate result at the end of it all, but man, yeah. Still with 2 seconds that they needed is quite a substantial deficit in time. But I mean, look, all the kudos here really for the Brat Division. They had sort of the last laugh, I suppose, the plan B for when they do get all wiped out, and now all of the last moments did just the right wonders. It is interesting to see how Brat Division will really play it all out, given that they have 3 ultimates to really play with, and Skyrus has a lot of utility to really make some ground, make some space here, especially on the B side.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they choose to use that tail ultimate. It's just kind of a tricky one. On the minimap, it looks like it clears a lot of space, but it moves quite slowly. So it really is, you know, remains to be seen how that's going to get utilized here. Marky holding mid. Definitely massive credit to her from the last round to be able to stay alive behind screens.
This is how we
time to go down, and there it is. There's that ultimate to come through, but there is a spot for Chisel. It's done by the fault line, but I feel like maybe it's a bit of false noise.
Oh no, AGRC.
Yeah, a bit of a 1-for-1 over there. Not too sure how that managed to happen, but a 1-for-1 nevertheless, as Echo manages to get one with the missiles, and well, actually, Brat Division, despite it being even numbers, have found themselves quite a nice opening here. The B site, there's no one on it, and the only player that has actually decided to go for a flank, which is being held right now. So that spike should be going down any second now. As of course, beautiful shot.
Yeah, that long swing didn't do all the right favors as well there for Athena as well. Does get shut down at the end of it all. But
she tried to go for the res, but both players were coming. At least that's information as now the tail walk comes out. That's going to force
Last
some of these
player standing.
fights, and Echo is going to be the one to win it. Milky Way
Last
spotted,
player
everyone's
standing.
stunned.
Oh no!
Oh, and Milky Way's the one to win that fight. Breach versus Breach. Can Chisel get it done only as a Bulldog? Milky Way so low. The clutch will come out.
Yeah, there was just a body shot that was required for the win here, and certainly perfect opportunity here for a bit of a breach on breach violence. Good turnaround here for Rapid, albeit leaving it all down to a 1 versus 1 is not particularly the most idealist situation. And yeah, as much as I was keen to see, you know, the whole Raze and Tejo combination, unfortunately for Shry, it has been a bit of a quiet game as well, whether it's just due to the unfortunate Valorant timing or something else as well. Things are looking a little bit unfortunate and, well, bleak for a brief moment here. In the meantime, though, for Brat Division, they had some pretty solid turnarounds here, and their push game has been quite formidable, I have to say.
Yeah, absolutely. From attacking half here, it's neck and neck. Maybe even lean it a little towards Brat Division as far as the... Actually, I was going to say as far as the economy is concerned, but I think they're actually on a bit of an eco here. Just to a sheriff.
Yeah, it is an eco, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so
Sheriff,
actually maybe...
I think even a Frenzy in there as well, a Ghost.
Yeah. So they're just going to play a very slow default round. You can see 2-1-2 across the map, just looking for any swings. Contact made on the B site, and that triggers a stun, but Skyrus will go down.
There it is.
Yeah.
That's a huge initial opener here as well for Shroud. Only one more frag that needs to happen, and then that's the ultimate ready to go. Interesting to see that at this point, really, for Brat Division, they've elected to just try to go in for peaks just to get some sort of a economy damage. It's not as decisive of a sort of pushes as we got to see in the previous few rounds, and yeah, Shroud will get to farm up at least one more frag before getting shut down. So all in all, rather, Brat Division did do a slight bit of damage.
Left.
Maybe 1 or 2 more frags will do just right here, but it is borderline expected that they would lose this round.
Yeah, unless a miracle comes out here, this should be the round going to Rapid, who, I mean, they're going to be looking all right now. Their economy is going to start to get a little bit better. Of course, those ultimates come online as well.
10 seconds left.
Like, maybe going to get planted. No, Paranoid going to force Milky Way back, who's actually managed to get one, but definitely no time to plant. Maybe
Last player standing.
For the money. Nope. Yeah, I think one thing that's worth mentioning here is that obviously it's an eco, so they're not expected to win, but you got to keep an eye on the Teos here, especially on the attack, right? The Skyrus first death in that round is something that can't be happening, because this is a comp that relies on that Teho pretty heavily for post-plant utility, right? You got those missiles, you can just press them on the iPad and it stops people from defusing the spike for a solid like 4 or 5 seconds. So definitely got to make sure that she's staying alive, making sure her util's available for that post-plant. But now, of course, that the guns are out, we can maybe expect to see something a little bit better from Rat Division here.
Well, let's hope so. So far, Rapid being able to lock things down has been a pretty formidable way, but a very accelerated potential push here, though. AGRC gotta give kudos there as well. Just perfect timing on the Omen utility has been shutting things down. Mokusam Cat tries to get some sort of a damage with the ultimate, but unfortunately for her, that is a no-go at all. And a very clear vacation of B without any casualties is actually one of the arguably the better case scenario here for Rapid.
Yeah, but it's going to be a flood retake with that rolling thunder. Skyrus and Athena are actually the ones to come out on top, fully stunned up, but they're getting the kills. Spike has not been planted. That retake perfectly timed, but unfortunately the swings off the back of it, not so much. It's left Echo in a 1v4, and Skyrus, well, we were talking about her having to stay alive, having to have that util, but you know, if she's alive to have the gunplay work instead, why not?
Yeah, exactly that. Why not? Why not indeed? And for all, being the scoreline, a much tighter scoreline here, I feel, going into the round 2 of our games for the BO1s as well. Way less of a, a decisive sort of side here for either one of the rosters. Both teams very equally sort of showcasing their own prowess here. And now going into the next round, it's interesting to point out as well that for Rapid, this is going to be a slightly broken by just given the Bulldog, but it doesn't look like that is going to be in affecting them in any case. Showstopper is the one to claim the life of the Teho, and well, you've been mentioning how potent Teho needs to be, especially for the post plan. So that utility has been completely written off in favor of Rapid.
Yeah, great set play off the start, just a stun into the showstopper.
Right there.
That's the sort of thing that we need to see from Rapid, right? Like, I mean, it's pretty neck and neck. It's not like, you know, there's any one team that has major flaws, but I love seeing those proactive defense players to just get that first kill. It can help so much in claiming these rounds. Now, it's going to be Brat Division going for a reclear of the main.
You will
See
not
if they're gonna
kill
clear.
my
Ah, they haven't. Perfect
Spike
time
down,
swing,
B.
Chisel, hand in hand. It's actually an even
All
numbers
missiles away.
position now due to that resurrection going through. No smokes available. Heaven is open. The spike has not gone past, so bit of a tough position now for
30
Brat
seconds
Division.
left.
All three players ready and waiting, and not enough time to rotate over to A. It's going to be an uphill battle into this round. Doesn't look like they're considering saving, so we are just going to have to see a full-out brawl here. Spike going down. Oh, Moose
player
Jackie
standing.
cleared, but a bit whippy there. Echo, excellent 3K.
All missiles away.
Yeah, phenomenal turnaround, all things considered, here for Echo and the rest of the team of Rapid. As that is another round to go their way. They are back into 1 point lead, and I mean, look, for Rapid, things are starting
Killing them
to
is easier than all the...
slowly but surely fall into the right places, really, because as a quick side note as well, that is worth mentioning, for Brat Division, they are playing with a sub that is Skyrus, I believe, and once again, that the question of, you know, how much time were Brat Division able to commit to playing with a sub is one thing. The coordination may be slightly off, maybe the communication, whatever else it may be, especially considering the fact that Skyrus is one of the a very, very potent, a very important agent to really be seen as.
Oh, that's not great.
Would have been a much necessary thing, but yeah, with Teho falling this early before even the duelist, that is a problem.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't have a rifle either. I mean, Cynthia here, she's the one with the rifle, Cinny, and I mean, I don't know why she wasn't the one to take that duel. Spike should be denied. by
Spike
that
planted.
ultimate.
Last
Oh,
player
it's managed to
standing.
get a kill. Echo stacking up triple kill after triple kill. Absolutely incredible performance from the Teho on Rapid. I mean, this is starting to very much lean in their favor, but with that being said, a little bit of an asterisk is that obviously there's a split. Like, it's known for being defender-sided, but yeah, definitely things getting a little bit out of hand for Brat Division. As yeah, definitely a bit of a tossed one, I would say, with Skyrus just kind of sending it down.
Yeah, I'm still a little bit scratching my head, I'm not gonna lie, with that push. Whilst the utility was certainly there, I'm not too sure what really was the game plan, or maybe it was, once again, yeah, the miscommunication. Understandably, the call does come on through for the timeout on the side of Malachi Chu, and look, it's a bit of a rough one, I have to say, for Brat Division, because up until recently, they've been going pretty steadily hand in hand, or rather neck and neck, really, against Rapid. And the past 2 rounds just been a complete switch off from any sort of big, you know, impactful performance from them. And the rounds that, you know, we got to see pretty close in both ways felt like they more so of a thing of a pass through, really. So it is good to see that they are starting that talk relatively early before any further point disadvantage has been accumulated for them. So maybe and hopefully that timeout is quite, you know, promising and productive for them as well.
Definitely. I mean, let's talk about Echo. 16 kills.
Oh yeah,
That's insane.
Echo has been doing phenomenal. Yeah, once again, yeah, we got the big performer. Last game it was the Jet player of Coven. Now it's Echo on the side of Rapid and doing pretty well.
Locating target.
Fair bit of an accelerating push once again. Brat Division looking to try to redeem themselves, and quite an accelerated push here from Raze.
Yeah, but it's a little bit ahead of the utility from the team. I mean, I didn't see any stuns, any flashes to come through. It was really just Cindy throwing herself in.
Just sort of send it and pray that the shots land. I don't think she really expected either the double up on the B side as well, right around the corner, which didn't particularly pay too many dividends. But yeah, look, it's once again it falls into the same sort of problem where I feel like it's a miscommunication issue, left, right, and center here, really, for Brat Division. They have a good idea, it's just the execution that has been just all over.
Well, they have gotten the spike down here, and hey,
the wall play.
Yeah, I mean the Cosmic Divide there, it's going to buy them a lot of time. The spike's been walled off again, so we might be seeing a bit of a repeat of one of those earlier rounds. So yeah, okay.
Would be big here.
First contact, oh, and the flash is timed perfectly for Shada. Pick up that kill, now sending it down ramps. Of course, they gotta beware that Skyrus is still around. Look how far back she's playing. She's just waiting for that wall to be broken before she even considers sending out those missiles. It's only her, the one remaining.
The hunt.
This might be a genuine 1v5 just based on time. Yeah, look at the there's no time. She's done it.
Oh no.
A 1v5.
Yeah, perfect.
1v5
play.
for Skyrus.
And a triple kill as well with the spike on top of it all to just put a little bit more salt on the wound there. But yeah, look, perfect ultimate here. Shows exactly why Teho is so potent here on the post plant. And yeah, well done by Skyrus, bringing it all out here and at the end making a play for herself.
Yeah, I mean, call it what it is. Maybe a little cheesy with the Sage and Teo utility, but like, hey, if it works, it works, and it's excellent for that round at least. It's gonna bring it up to a 6-5 scoreline now, 1 round away from being tied at the half. Try finally having an operator, and it's gonna grab the first kill. I do love the way that Rapid are playing in B main. They always have, you know, Breach and Raze playing together, ready to use util to help each other out. The operator will now be pushed off the angle. A lot of util being expended just to grab this resurrection. Gotta use it eventually, so it'll come through. Back to a 5v5, but definitely still, as far as util's concerned, an advantage for the side of Rapid.
Certainly. So already quite a fair bit of an advantage in terms of the time, really. Quite a spread out positioning here from Brat Division, trying to find the right pressure point here. Maybe the flank from the breach here onto the Haven will be a perfect opportunity, but given that it is being, well, kept an eye out for, this could be a perfect opportunity. No, a stun comes on through. Skyrus needs to land the shots here, and indeed she will, but Chisel is just once again being absolutely just
fate towards
working out.
The B side.
Oh yeah.
A's been claimed, but the jig is up. Even though the kills have been gotten, it's a genuine 2v2 on the site, and the spike's gone down. It's all down to Malachi to try and hold on to this, but not looking in the right direction. I don't know if there's enough time. There's only 10 seconds remaining.
10 seconds
Last
left.
round, it was the timer in the favor of Brat Division, but this time it's going the way of Rapid, unless Skyrus and a teammate can do something about it. It's not going to happen. It's going to be Rapid taking the advantage at the half.
Oof. Wow. Yeah, okay.
Switching sides.
Swift conclusion to the first half with a 7-5, a 2-pointer advantage here in favor of Rapid, and does sort of spell a little bit of now an interesting storyline really here, given that, yeah, Split being the defender-sided, in retrospect, didn't really go as dominantly for Rapid against Brat Division, all things considered, but now with Brat Division being on the defense, I'm curious to see how will they be able to manage their resources, manage their play, because so far it has been occasionally a bit chaotic, maybe too chaotic on some of the plays, and on an off chance, say one of the two players between Skyrus or Mofsankat dies early, things get really rough for Brat Division pretty quickly.
Yeah, for sure. Bit of a slow start to this pistol. Some util exchange towards mid, but you know, not much progress on either side as far as control over the map. Quite a heavy stack for Brat Division here towards mid. Got Astra and Breach trying to hold it down, whereas it's really just 2 players on either side of the map. Looks like we've got contact. Mofu Sandcat gonna be the one to claim the kill onto Flip. That means no flank protection, and you can see immediately where that tail is going on the other side of the map, right out on the flank.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see what happens with that later on in the round, as the mid looks like it's going to be coming in towards the A site. There's of course
the flank
of players around. Oh, the flank's being held for. Oh no, AGRC.
Oh no.
She's stuck around for a mid-lurk. Actually, hold on a second. This could go back the way of Rapid. They're getting all the kills.
Wow.
Last player standing.
An absolute and utter shutdown. Try as well getting the double there to clear out the rest of the side. It's all down to Milky Way to do anything, but with the plants already well and truly actually on the way to another side, this is a double switcheroo to come through. This does look like it will be a post-plant situation once things do get de-escalated. It's all down to the breach. Things can be quite dangerous.
I mean, she's
She
low
could
on
do it
HP,
indeed.
but it's a 1v2 now. I mean, surely you gotta say this. There's no way it goes towards her. She's being surrounded. Oh, AGRC, it's messy. Tail missiles come out onto the spike. Echo's position is known. Stun fault line gonna come out. Oh, okay. Make it a 1v1 now. This is definitely doable. Still plenty of time. AGRC is going to teleport across, as Milky Way should be aiming to get half on the spike at least, maybe even. Oh no, not stick. It's going to be AGRC to pick it up. A great attempt at the clutch. I thought for a second Milky Way might be trying to stick it through, but nah, it's going to be the pistol round going the way of Rapid. So they will extend their lead.
All right. Extending the lead indeed, and well, usually the way how things do go is where the pistol round wins. That usually means that the second round, the anti-eco and all of that should be pretty straightforward here as well, considering that all 3 of Echo, AGRC, and Flip have been showing us some absolutely phenomenal gameplay so far. I wouldn't put it past that this could be a pretty straightforward round here as well for them to claim the 9th.
Yeah. The only thing I will say, they've invested quite heavily into this. I believe they had 3 Guardians, and a Bulldog, and a Ghost, so they can only afford to lose a single weapon before things start to, you know, hurt the economy. It's going to be Simi on site, the only player to try and anchor this behind screens, but not much util has been sent away, and Shra's not looking the right direction. The rest of the team stuck in lane. Excellent paint shells to hold back the team, and she's got another one.
Already a double for herself, especially on a classic, is quite perfect here. At least AGRC is able to get a double to keep things running. 3 versus 3, make it 2 versus 3, as it is all an absolute chaos. Skyrus picking up another kill with a classic, and all of a sudden this whole buy is just falling apart here for
and
Rapid.
Look how
What
low
is going
Chisel
on?
is. She'll go down to a single bullet. This is still very doable from the side of Brat Division. Line gonna come out, but it's mistimed. It's too deep. So now down to a 1 versus 1. Skyrus only has the Ghost though. Will she go for the tap or will she go for the gun? If she does go for that gun, she would find Echo. No, gonna try and get half through on the spike now. And it will go the way of Echo, but I mean, short of getting a round win, that is about as good as it can be for Brat Division.
Oh yeah, especially in this case for the economy question as well. It is a big turnaround for Brat Division, despite the fact that they weren't able to really stem the bleeding in terms of the round count. Things are still quite promising, and I mean, we'll look at all of the buys. Full buy for Brat Division, a much more broken one from Rapid, considering the the Guardian pick, the Stinger, the light armor Vandal, and 2 Sheriffs with one of them completely unarmored. Tells the story that this will be yet another round for Rapid, yet another rough round for Rapid, and should be a pretty straightforward one for Brad, but what is going on, man?
Yeah, that's a rough one from Simi. Donates them a rifle, and yeah, I mean, that's what I was talking about earlier on defense. The way that Rapid were playing that, they would always have their Raze alongside a Breach, so that there is that supportive utility and an opportunity for a trade, whereas at the moment, there's not even a chance, right? Like, when you're out on your own like that and you get swung by like 3-4 people, well, like, what are you gonna do, right? You just lose.
True
That's
that.
exactly what's happened. Giving them a
True
gun as
that
well.
indeed.
It's gonna be
Looking at the-
difficult.
Yeah, looking at the overall push so far, middle is going to be the play here. Potential opportunity here for Skyrus to really put a thorn in the side, and the action might indeed be coming very quickly and rapidly here.
Alright, 2 quick ones traded by Skyrus. Oh, 2 apiece. Not too bad from the defense, and despite the rough start, some nice gunplay will take it over the line. As that scoreline, it's getting a little bit closer here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it worked out almost flawlessly there, really. The good set of retakes, good coordination, and good crossfire that came on through. Perfectly executed for Brat Division to make it only a 3-round differential here. So all things looking so far, this is this could prove to be quite a beneficial side for Brat Division, I reckon, if they are able to continue. The choice of a judge, though, I'm a little bit questioning here on the defense, but I mean, on split, judge may just work in the right circumstance, but this will need to be quite a careful play.
Yeah, I reckon that it should be fine. I mean, as long as she can find contact in the right position, which as the hit's coming towards B, she perhaps might be in the right spot. Although she's gonna have to have players going her way before anything comes out of that. She's just running out to the open. She still managed to get a kill. That's a 1-for-1 that you'll take any day when you have a judge like that. Plant gonna go down.
Absolutely.
And well, the players of Brat Division, there's 2 coming through on the flank, and no trap wires watching for it. There's only 1 on site. Maybe a misplay there, but Flip is holding this angle. But I don't know if she's prepared for 2. With the tail coming in as well, Athena will grab a kill. Nice readjustment, but not quite able to stabilize in time. APRC, great. Great ultimate play there from the shadows to avoid that tail ultimate, and it will be rapid securing the round.
Poor Athena as well, just having the nerves, I would imagine, kick in there mid 1v1, and just had the raise dead to rights. Unfortunately, just the pre-fires didn't really pan out as well as they could have, making us a 10-6 and a bit of a runaway scoreline. And now 4 rounds differential will be making things a lot more difficult here for Brat Division to really bring it all back. Whereas on the side of Rapid, look, 3 more points is all that is needed, and well, they're well underway for that. Albeit once again a bit of a questionable buy here with I believe it was 2 light armors, 1 hybrid armor, and well, yeah, things may get very quickly escalated here.
Yeah, Cindy up on top of the bosses there. It'll be interesting to see if that gets cleared. If I was to guess, the little spider drone from Teo would do just the trick, but if Cindy can get her teammate to break it, there might be a good chance as the rolling thunder does get invested. I don't think she's being cleared. Oh no, she has. Okay, Asuna, only one fighting on site alongside Mela.
Spike down.
She's the one who's going to get the kill as well with the Spectre.
Oh, Chisel.
Not good enough. Guardian coming out on top is now a 1v3 for Skyrus. Rotating over from the other side of the map. It's an unlikely scenario, but, you know, never say never.
Exactly that. 1v3 still very much workable. Skyrus with the Phantom as well, ready to rumble. Few isolated cases here, but so little visibility with the flashes. It is all just an absolute forfeit, unfortunately, there, and not much Skyrus could have done really in that situation. Stuck between a rock and a hard place.
I mean, that was an excellent flash from Chisel. A little bit lower on the scoreboard, but no problem really. It's going to be a second timeout called from Brat Division. Still plenty of time to... it's not over yet, right? Like... Sure, it's not looking great, and I mean, looking at the money, I don't think they're going to have the greatest buy here. But, you know, still definitely an opportunity to bring things back. If you know, get a little bit of a half buy or an eco win and then start snowballing that economy, definitely bring things back. But with that being said,
Exactly
I feel like there's just a little bit of a lack of cohesion on this defense, right? We're seeing players caught out on their own somewhat often here.
Yeah, it certainly feels like the omens of the the first half are coming back here for Brat Division as much as we hope to see, you know, a slight improvement here and there on the defenses. It's just been quite just series of unfortunate events, really, is probably the best way to describe how the whole game plan was really there for Brat Division. Looking right now as well at their buys, look, SMGs, pistols, and the cheeky eye, but I think I saw a Marshall as well somewhere in there against what looks to be a full buy of Rapid. Unless they're playing some sort of an extremely in-the-face sort of game, things get pretty problematic really quickly.
Going to be a fast push out of A. All 5 players for the Eco, and they're running directly into the waiting arms of Rapid players. Almost a flawless there. Ultimate invested against the Eco. Maybe wasn't necessary, but hey, you're at match point. You're probably going to either win the game or get it back at some point, so not too much of a problem.
Full util for Echo here, man.
Yeah, I mean, this
and a 20 bomb as well, actually, on top of it for both AGRC and Echo.
Yeah, they're playing phenomenally.
Oh yeah, this is a great turnaround. I mean, a 2KD here for 2 players of Rapid. I feel tells the story pretty vividly here. I reckon.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see if Brat Division can get something done here. I mean, it's 12-6. It's not looking great, but you got plenty of ults in the pocket, guns online. You know, as long as you can stop that win from coming through here, your economy's gonna start rolling. But I don't know. Cindy's been left here. She's gonna get cleared. It's a 1-for-1. I think she'll take that, but
Need that back.
I mean, the B site's completely open. Nothing there to stop this hit coming through. That plant should go down in a second now. And you see with the lock up for mid, we'll find Athena. Even though the plant is being denied and the rolling thunder comes in, it's still a numbers disadvantage for Brat Division.
Still quite a fair bit of the time as well to really play it all out. AGRC claiming almost the heaven will be a perfect opportunity, albeit there's still an opportunity. Skyrus may just be able to do just enough damage here to shut things down.
Yeah, this would have to be a 2v4 to just stay in the game. Milky Way, that's a good start with the wrap round through Pillar, leaving Milky Way to 1v2. Hold on! No, it's not gonna happen.
Attackers win.
Oh, it was an excellent try, but
I will take you
at
apart.
the end of the day, it will be Rapid to close things out 13-6. It looked like it could have been close at around halftime, but unfortunately for Brat Division, it's going to be a loss. But, you know, we still have one more game, and I believe we're actually going to be going to another Brat Division game next. Brat Division versus Shamimi. So, you know, who knows? Maybe they could have a little bit of a bounce
redemption
back
arc?
and, maybe. Yeah, any closing thoughts here?
Oh, look, I feel like in a scenario of a BO3, this would feel slightly differently here, this loss here on Split, because it feels like on a number of rounds, if they had a little bit more cohesion going into the late game, Brat Division would have been able to make it a much closer of a scoreline here, despite all of the efforts. And I'd say the best sort of strength so far that Rapid managed to bring us here is the fact that they didn't really let this slip too many times into the late game. They really taken control whenever they could, and when they did, it was, you know, pretty accelerated, pretty right on the nose there. And I think this is where really Brat Division were not really prepared. They wanted to, and it was evident that they wanted to play a very, very slow, very methodical game. And it showed on the rounds that they did manage to win. It was really well orchestrated performance, and they had, all plans from A all the way to Z. It's just unfortunately against the hyper aggressive plays here and there from Rapid, there wasn't much of a response.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this match. We've got one more game tonight. It will be Brat Division versus Shamimi. So don't go anywhere. Hopefully going to be a bit of a shorter break here, but we will be right back with the last game for tonight. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Exsto Athena series. We're on to our last match of the day here in the group stages for Group 1. And well, we've got a little bit of a repeat team here, Brat Division, just coming off the back of a loss, but they're going up against a new team, Shmimi.
Yeah, look, this is a good opportunity for Brat Division to really try to bring it all back, to try to recover from what was a pretty upsetting turnaround really there for them in the previous BO1. And overall, look, it's worth mentioning that, yeah, just BO1s in general, their nature is a pretty brutal one where every round, every kill really matters 10 times more than something like a BO3. So look, yeah, there's been a bit of a disarray for them as well, given that they are playing with a sub. So, and it certainly showed on a few occasions. So one would hope that they've, in the break that they did have, they got to talk it all out. They got to iron it all out. Map will be a whole different vibe as well. So honestly, Lotus could be, the place for their redemption arc here.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to be going up against Shmimi, who actually won their last map 13-2, I believe. It was a pretty crazy game. So definitely Brat Division got their work cut out for them, but that's not to say that they haven't done some stomping themselves. But yeah, who knows? We'll just have to wait and see, as we are going to be getting into the map veto. Oh, not map veto, sorry, what am I saying? That's what we're looking at now. The agent select in just a second. So we'll have to see what these teams are locking in. It's going to be Brat Division on defense to start off with this time. Skyrus having locked in the chamber, so a bit of a change there. Double smokes. Okay, so playing a little bit of a traditional comp. This is a comp that we definitely would have seen a fair amount of last year. Maybe not so much chamber, often see a lot of killjoy. Whereas on the other side of the things, again, going for more of the modern approach with the Teho in the mix, along with the killjoy, which honestly, I haven't actually seen that much killjoy on Lotus as of recently. There's been a lot more ciphers, some deadlock, and even Vise, as I was mentioning earlier on in the broadcast. So it'll be interesting to see how these match up.
Yeah, I think Vise does require you to be a little bit more, I would almost say, proactive, really, with her util and being a little bit closer to that said util as well, to be able to really fully emphasize of that. Killjoy here makes a really good sense here, because this is a good opportunity for the attacking side to, really lock things down and get some sort of a flank watch as well, get some potentially even, the damage, given that the turret and the swarm grenades do allow for such. Whereas on the side of defense, look, I adore the choice of a Viper. I have to say that for the Brat Patrol as well, this is going to be a perfect opportunity here to really, bring it back, to slow things down a little bit and just try to play that methodical Valorant that they did try to bring out in the last game, and instead, just play into that as much as possible. Whereas on the side of the attack, look, it's a very versatile roster, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, I have some potentially good news. I think our overlay might be working. So let's have a look and see if we're getting the good stuff. As well, we have, does that look like 10 players? That looks like 10 players. I think we got ourselves an overlay.
Let's go.
Okay. It's gonna be a little scuffed because we have obviously the other one underneath it. But hey, I am very, very happy. We've been kind of struggling a little bit to get this thing working. Unfortunately, kind of software things out of our control. I won't get into the details of it, but hey, it looks like it's here. I'm looking forward to seeing it, hopefully, fully functionally. But anyway, it's going to be Shmimi starting here on the defense. No, is it? That's not Shmimi. That's the wrong way around.
ZZZ?
Yeah, that's that's Brat Division on the defense. I got to make sure that swapped itself.
All right.
There we go. It's correct now.
Well, already full-on swing does come on out, as is the one to actually get the better of Skyrus pretty quickly, pretty accelerated as well. firm positioning right on the attacking side, as the site has been fully taken. The Jet has doing absolute well, solid damage here, all things considered, with the plant done and dust. Time for the retake, but it is going to be a bit of a rough one, considering that all the util is still yet to be placed. The Viper is still rotating on over to try to find some sort of an opener. Even then, it's all done and dusted. It's all down to Athena to do any sort of damage, because at this point it is going to be damage control, really.
Absolutely. Also, note the sides were around. The team names are the wrong way around. Not too sure why that happened, but anyways, we will clean that up as soon as possible. Perhaps a short tech pause after this, but look, this is going to be a pistol round. Definitely going the way of Shmimi. That is not Brad Division there. It is Shmimi. But
That Viper is so hateful.
yep. Hey, we're just gonna go to a quick tech pause to get that cleaned up. But hey, we will be right back. Alrighty, we are back. Slight hiccup, but no problems at all. We have swapped these teams around. So that is correct. It was actually Shmimi that won that round, not Brad Division. But all is well.
Here.
As we will be going into this next round. And it's going to be
I will stop that
Shmimi
breach.
buying up quite heavily here. Guardian, Vandal. That's a lot of weaponry. They could do a lot of damage with it. Flash to come out, and an excellent shot from Skyrus.
Drone going out.
Talked about her a lot last map. She was on the breach. A sub player, but still putting up some decent numbers. So seeing her in the chamber here, making that headhunter go to work early on. But Azana has managed to get a kill on the other side of the map, and the C site is well and truly taken to Zulu. It's gonna be a tough retake.
Yeah, certainly so. Will be quite a bit of a problem here for the retake, considering that with Viper out of the equation as well, things are looking pretty dire, all things considered. BDE will need to do quite a lot of work here. Ashlyn will need to land the shots, and unfortunately just, yeah, things are not looking too great here. For Skyrus, this is all just a very, very rough game with Malachi falling. It's just a problem galore, really, in every possible way.
Yeah, it's funny that we talked about you know, having the we've had some Ashlyn. Yes, that's Skyrus? Yes.
Yeah, that's Skyrus.
Yeah, that's her name that she actually goes by. That is
right.
Correct, I believe. But yeah, you know, it's funny that I mentioned her in the chamber just for her to TP back into the open. It was a little funny. But you know, eco round things. It's we're not gonna dwell on that for too long. As well, another chance for her. Lined it up, position known. Surely she takes the TP out, or she's gonna take the fight and find the first kill. So I think that's redemption well and truly there. There is just the one player. It's actually the spike is coming out here towards the A site. Players sticking around. Cine and Phil Milky Way alongside. Potentially a bit of a crossfire here that Radiant Rice has found herself between. She will fall. As well, it looks like Brat Division have maintained control over A Rubble here and have forced Shmimi to run back over towards the other side of the map potentially.
Certainly so, yeah. For Shmimi, things are looking a little bit problematic here. Brat Division are doing some really, good job, all things considered. Despite trading out the chamber, they did manage to shut down two pretty big accelerators for the Shmimi roster, and well, with Killjoy Breach and the Astra alive, this will be a bit of a dire situation. Not too sure how they really have to approach it. This is just going to be a dump right onto the side, and well, yeah, a pretty swift conclusion to it all, as Athena is the one to put the final nail into the coffin of that approach. So, well, 2-1 scoreline. It feels eerily similar to how the very last game was starting things out, but this time maybe Brad Division may be able to take the control of the pacing in their hands.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a good start. No, it was a relatively clean round as well. They only dropped 2 rifles, but just the 2 has been enough to, you know, force a Bucky buy out of Ashlyn, and Milky Way is just going to go with a Sheriff no shields. I'm not too sure about that one. I feel like surely you'd want to have something. Of course, there's still a headhunter bullet. Oh, and it's unlucky.
Going out.
Poor Ashlyn. She will go down. The drone will come out to clear the site. The site has very much fallen into the hands of Shmimi. The spike should be going down any second now, but are they ready for this flank? Because it's coming pretty fast, and I don't see anyone around now watching this.
Certainly, so already quite a further expansion as well into the site does mean that for Shmimi, they have a really good grasp on the positioning, and with already 2 more defenders falling through, BDE are not looking particularly too happy about the turnaround. Sabi falls, Malachi as well, and it's just all a very, very difficult situation here for BDE. Right as I thought that this might be the return to form for them, but unfortunately, still yet to find their own footing. 3-1 does not really spell too much of a hope, at least for the time being, but Lotus being a very, how should I say this, a very treacherous map. Who knows what kind of momentum switch may happen.
Yeah, I mean, this is another map, as the 3 site maps tend to be, that leans towards the attacker side there, but also the Brat Division. Some unfortunate moments in that round, shall we say. Oh, nice. Oh, I was going to say nice volley lineup, but I don't think there's anyone that plays on the roof. We'll just politely ignore that one for now.
Certainly, so already a few phantoms ready to start blazing. Really, Ashlyn really wants to get into the thick of it, really, with some of the gunfights, and it certainly seems like, well, at least for the time being, we'll have to wait around as Milky Way is about to get her hands full.
Yeah, I mean, that was not the greatest read from Brat Division, but with that being said, they have managed to rotate 3 players over in time, and they send out the Fault Man and Aftershock to try and deny the plant, but nope, it's unable to, just a little bit too late. So they will now try and fight their way onto site, but with only 2 of them side by side, Malachi and Milky Way, see what they can do. Flashpoint out once again, Ray Cutie able to pick off Malachians. Now the Rolling Thunder, perfectly timed, cleaned up nicely, and I don't think Sabi's going to be able to get much done here on this flank. What's the gun spotted? Get your rifle out! You can get a free one. There we go. Maybe another one on the exit. Not going to happen. Will be a 3K for Ray Cutie and Shmimi. They will look to stabilize here and really put the economy of Brat Division in the dirt.
Yeah, once again, a very, very powerful play and a very powerful turnaround for Shmimi. They just feel pretty just unstoppable with the way how they are working it all out. And certainly, I have to say the team comp as well, working really good on their performance so far. It feels like a very disconnected play though from BDE. I wish we got to see a little bit more coordination from them, but at the moment, it's a bit of a struggle here and there. And in comparison to the previous match where we got to see some pretty close rounds, here this one feels like they are not feeling too comfortable on Lotus.
Yeah, I mean, the only round they won was one where it was against, you know, not the greatest weaponry. So, definitely cause for concern as Malachi is going to spot out AZ here. Of course, we have to be aware of Milky Way hiding behind this box. Hasn't been cleared, but also AZ is just going to fall off the angle, reconsider back towards the A site where Cine is the only player. Might end up taking first contact here, but she's remained hidden in tree. I don't think anyone's aware of this. Tedder may be the one who ends up having to take the contact. Flash will miss, and that allows the Bucky to find the first kill. Maybe another. No, not quite enough damage. But still, Radiant Rice has fallen.
Finished.
Milky Way on the flank won't be able to find any, and now we're left in a 2 versus 3.
30 seconds
Actually,
remaining.
rifles in the hands of Brad Division. Malachi, okay. A little whiffy, and TP out into the open will be her downfall. Shmimi fended off Nico round. Somehow that one was the one that looks the closest so far, but they will maintain their lead quite handily.
Oh yeah, 5-1 already starts spelling quite a disastrous turnaround for Brat Division here, and I'm not even too sure what really would be the the perfect way to try to bring it all back, because a tactical timeout rather to be brought on out right now for Brat Division will be a very, very key moment to try to bring it all back for themselves. But look, who knows, maybe after this round we'll get to see that timeout to happen, because otherwise chalked mental central is going to be in the play, and well, we do finally get to see a little bit more of a repellent to start coming on out. It's the Viper's Pit to come through, and finally a pushback on middle as well. This will be a key moment here. Tedder had the opportunity for a double, but the damage has been already dealt, and middle has been opened up. B is ready for the taking.
Yeah, but the Rolling Thunder from Milky Way is ready and waiting. They hear the plant. They're going to send that through. Oh, but the Viper's Pit has fallen. That might give an opportunity to rotate back towards the C side. They have the numbers. They have an opportunity, but no, it's just going to be the plant here on the B side. Oh, an excellent flick from Ashlyn. Beautiful one, but still at a disadvantage. You have an operator and a rifle to try and make this retake happen. It would be a 2v4. Milky Way now left to do everything for her team. Boat line available will be sent through, but it's a crossfire here. It will be so hard to clear, and Shmimi extend their lead to 5 rounds.
All right. 6-1 scoreline. We've got to see some pretty curious matches to date, but I don't think we got to see as I guess one-sided so far of a matchup before, unless we could count the the first matchup. As of now, really a 6-1 scoreline is looking pretty bleak here, and understandably Malachi Chu will call in for the timeout, but man, it'll take quite a fair bit of an effort to really bring back the mental.
Yeah, I mean, that was a round where they invested 3 ultimates, and they didn't get much for it, so it's definitely rough. Also, just on a side note, this is kind of unrelated to anything, but I don't know if it's Malachi, Mela?
I'm pretty sure it's Malachi.
Well, the thing is that she doesn't know herself, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
Because like I mentioned, I have coached her before, and it's one day it's one and one day it's another, so, she's definitely a funny individual. But definitely I will say, as far as like player quality goes, I've been really impressed with her performance. Like, definitely not meaning to like talk down on her or anything, but like, last year when I was coaching her in Game Changers, she was one of the lower rated players, but she's had the tenacity to just keep on going, keep on building these teams. And I mean, look, even though it's not looking great right now, I feel like she's had a very respectful showing here today. I mean, her first map was absolutely dominant. It was 13-2, I believe, for Brat Division. And now even the second map, I mean, it wasn't as good, and here it's looking a little rough, but I think still, considering the situation where you're playing with 2 subs, like Cine's not even, wasn't on the main roster either, I feel like they're making a good go of things.
Yeah, look, in the context of the performance on solo side, things do look pretty promising here for Brat Division. It's just, I think it's more just the yet to nail the cohesiveness of the performances, and I think this is where I think a lot of drawing board effort will come through, I feel.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, bit of a reply here from Cindy, upgraded to a rifle off the back of the showstopper, but unfortunately just wasn't looking the right direction. However, Ashlyn has filled that space with the 2 with a force, but didn't quite find the shot, and that's left away on her own with the sheriff, but still able to find the kill onto Teta. That means no smokes and only 20 seconds to make their way over to the A site for Shamimi. They should have enough time, but they're ready for this flank to come through. I think Milky Way perhaps heard Radiant Rice rotating? Yeah, okay, they should definitely know.
10 seconds
now.
left.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a 2v3 retake, but hey, I mean, Brat Division, the players are close, and Ashley and Milky Way have been doing quite well here for the side of Brat Division. There's a few players that are a little low on HP, so maybe a chance here. But with this lockdown coming out, either we gotta speed the tempo up ASAP, or they just will have to forfeit this round, I believe. But no, it looks like they are going in. I think they're gonna get the kills. Oh, not even that. Easy to pick up the kills. Okay, Shamimi. They are looking absolutely dominant here, and I mean, fair enough. We haven't really talked about them that much, given that you know, we've just had Brat Division for the last game. But from what I've heard, Shmimi have been looking pretty good themselves. I believe they're also coming off the back of a 13-2 or a 13-3 score in their last map, and look, they're just carrying it over to here. They look incredible.
Oh, yeah, perfect momentum transfer here for Shmimi, and yeah, like you said, they've been pretty solid on the roll. If anything, the 7-1 scoreline should be the one to tell the whole story here, really, with how they've been performing. It's been a really well coordinated, very accelerated play, and once again, this feels like a bit of a game of rock paper scissors in terms of how paced do you play your Valorant, and this is exactly the answer here. Is Shmimi are just ready to just keep on going, keep on sending it, and exactly that. The trade game has been absolutely phenomenal from them, to say the very least.
Yeah, I mean, credit to Cindy there. I mean, the fact that she even got one there was quite impressive, given she was satcheling in and out. Now the Rolling Thunder will come through, and I believe Milky Way has just escaped into heaven. So the Rolling Thunder will only be able to grab space for Shmimi now in this 4v4 retake. AZ's getting active here, pushing up into heaven. Malaki is just walking straight into the crosshair, but trades still going back and forth. 2 versus 2, and the positions should be known for Shmimi. These players know exactly where to aim, but Skyrus can't land the shot, and Zabi hasn't even made her way onto the site. She's got to speed things up a little bit. And honestly, I don't know how possible it is. I mean, AZ's still alive, and she's going to be the one to convert it. 3 kills.
Taps away.
Yeah, this is dominant as ever here.
Don't worry. Don't think it, eh?
Yeah, I mean, this is
12
this
to
is a rough
3,
one.
man.
Yeah.
12 to 3 for Az. Enough said, honestly. Just a really strong performance coming out of her, specifically here. What was it? 4 KD, as well as a pretty formidable turnaround. And with the end of the first half coming up pretty rapidly here as well. BDE will need to really pick up the pace here if they do want to keep themselves alive in this beast. Sorry, best of one. I'm stuttering away into this just as BDEs are stuttering away their lives here as well.
Yeah. I mean, hey, like, we're both Kiwi, you know, it's getting a little later for us, but also, this when it comes to stomps like this, you eventually start repeating the same things over and over again. It's really just Brat Division getting caught off in these early rounds, losing that first blood, and then, I mean, these post plants, they look formidable from Shmimi. I mean, they haven't even got the spike down here, but still, I would be expecting them to win it from this position. Radiant Rice fighting forward, designed to go down, but a nice trade to come through. And you mentioned this last round, the trade game has been so good from Shmimi. They're just moving as a pack and absolutely destroying. And look at that, 3Ks for seemingly every other round at this point.
Yeah, it's a bit of a I'll even brave to say that it feels like a bit of a washout here, Atlas.
I mean, you can look at the score lines. Every single player on Shamimi
Yeah.
has more kills than any player on Brad Division. Like, it's...
Yeah, but
There's
you
no other
see,
way of putting it.
I hate being, you know, the guy that, you know, talks about the downfall of one of the or the other team because, you know, it's just that it doesn't serve or do the due duty here as well. But yeah, for BDE, it just went from one unfortunate situation to another. Whereas for Shamimi, look, they have not let off their foot off the gas pedal for a long while, ever since they started their whole streak really of rounds. Going into C even here as well. This is going to be a difficult one. Does land a shot. Perfect play though from Skyrus, and straight away backs away.
Yeah, I can't say I've seen the chamber Bucky very often, but it works out in this situation. Cindy on the flank will be taken down. Oh, but the timing from Malaki, she just couldn't quite find the shot, so she might look to get on out of here with the From the Shadows. So she will teleport away to safety. But hey, I mean, I think no, the rifle
Spike
hasn't.
down,
Oh no,
C.
it has been recovered from Ashlyn. I just saw her pick it up there on the overlay. Nice to have, to be able to see them picking up weapons. But yeah, no, I mean, this is still very winnable. I mean, numbers advantage for Brat Division on their eco rounds.
30 seconds left.
And not long left on the clock, so as soon as contact is made here, Malachi staying hidden. She could just swing out at a moment's notice. I don't think she's gonna get cleared. Oh, she's missing the shots. No.
Oh no, Malachi, no.
Oh, Malachi. Oh no.
Lost in the sauce at the end of it all. Surely at this point BDE do decide to full send it at this point, because I believe that is it the final round before the switch?
No, one more round after this.
No, okay,
This
one more.
wasn't
So
a round for them,
yeah,
One enemy
maybe at the very least try to save the weaponry, but yeah, too little, too late here for this one for them. And
last round before the switch.
10-1, Atlas. 3 more rounds for Shmimi, and that's it. That's Huz done. That's BDE done. It's not much else really to say apart from the fact that for Brat Division, I think they're ready to clock out here as well at the end of this game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's been a long day of Valorant, and it's also worth mentioning that, you know, just because Brat Division, we have watched them lose, well, again, assuming they're going to lose here, it's a bit unfortunate, but, I mean, Shmimi just looked too good. But, like, you know, it's not over. It's still the group stages, there's still another day of gameplay, and Brat Division did win their first game. One of the shots there to come out from Cine, but traded straight back by Azana. But yeah. Going back to that thought, though, yeah, there's definitely an opportunity still to come for Brat Division to come back, fresh day tomorrow, maybe have some of their original roster. And who knows, maybe we'll get to see them again. Maybe not, we'll have to see. But yeah, there's you know, still plenty more games left to be played here in this round robin for Group 1. As for this round, though, we've got a work forward from Radiant Rise, and that will be caught out by Sabi. As now the lockdown comes out. I feel like Azana used a lockdown, like, what, 2-3 rounds ago, but regardless, looks like we're actually going to get a player detained here. It was an open, but it wasn't an open.
No hunt either, which is a good opportunity here.
Yeah, he ignored main. Oh, and Azana's got the kill. On for the ace even.
Oh, this is not good.
Oh, just sending the spam through. I mean, there's a player waiting, and oh, it's a judge to go up against. Oh no, wait, this might actually be an opportunity. Spamming through this for Malachi would probably go down to just 2 bullets. She's swinging forward. Oh no, she hasn't even gotten the ace. She's lost the round. Malachi with the judge. Oh, the hubris speeds the downfall. Oh no.
Switching sides.
How did that even happen? But my god, that is a much needed return to form here, maybe for BDE, even for a slight moment of respite. Yeah. Ay 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 ay. Man, Well, what a way to win the round as well. Amidst all of the chaos, amidst all of the stuff that was happening, and it's a judge that bring the win. Oh my god! What a time to be alive.
I don't know what to say to that. That is
Checking the situation.
that is crack up. I mean, having a little bit of fun. I mean, when you're up 9-1, it is 100% valid to, you know, run it down for that ace. But running directly into a judge like that in that situation, that is the worst weapon to run. Like if it's a rifle,
Oh yeah.
I feel like Malachi probably doesn't win that. But the judge, you just click twice, boom, boom, 2 kills. Absolutely excellent stuff. I mean, hey,
Farming.
at least they'll feel good about that, right? Like that's a feel good round.
Oh yeah, that's one for the highlight reel. Honestly.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll be definitely seeing that on the highlight
One
reel
down.
tomorrow. Anyways, yeah, I mean, Shmimi just straight back to things. Radiant Rice grabbing the first one just on a little swing out of the site. That's the toxic screen no longer available, which means you can't really pressure over towards A as easily. They still might look to end up there. If I was to guess, looking at the minimap, they might throw a smoke, throw some util oil, make some noise over towards C, and then start creeping back up towards A to return to Cine and Milky Way. Or actually, they might just walk up, which might benefit them.
Might as well.
I mean, Shmimi looks like they're getting a little impatient, potentially looking to
30
jump out.
seconds left.
So here comes the fault line with the C1 back in response, and that's excellent. It stuns up Cine mid-air. Close range fight, and Reiki is the one to win it. AJ's still
Spike
alive, but
down
again,
A.
trades are good for Brat Division, but still, they don't have the numbers advantage. Kudos to that first blood from Radiant Rice.
10 seconds left.
Shmimi, they're all
Spike
here, all
planted.
ready to retake, but they are on their own. And that gives Ashen an opportunity to grab that
Last
first
player
kill, even
standing.
things out, but Radiant Rice from the rear. Once again, get another trade. The trades, it's just back and forth, back and forth. When it's all back and forth, it's the team that got the first kill that comes out on top as Shmimi will extend their lead to 11-2.
11-2 indeed, just like that. It's been a very a curious run is probably the only way to really describe this, because for Shmimi, they've been managing pretty well, and not to say that it's been a complete run it down, you know, just a complete overpowerment. They still had to, you know, employ quite a fair bit of thinking and strategy as well in terms of reading where the opponents are, but yeah, the moment it's an entry onto the side, it's that's basically round done and dusted. BDE, ever since you know, a few of the first starting rounds, they seem to have deflated only to get that sort of, you know, the big standout judge win at the end of it all. But I'm curious to see and to find how will BDE be able to handle this attack, because yeah, there's the drones as well coming on out, the swings are all there. At least we do get to see a double to come on through, and that is a big turnaround.
From Cine, I mean, that's the player I know. She was always, well, honestly, Cine's an interesting player. She's absolutely cracked. But on the other hand, she's almost always a sub on whatever team she plays for. So a bit of a super sub coming in here, filling in on that duelist role. And honestly, she's definitely been one of the standouts for BDE. Whether that continues is another question. Obviously, long road ahead here. But, you know, you get yourself an eco round, you know, there's some rifles to be picked up here, although Zana has managed to get that kill. Can Ashen make that Spectre that she has picked up for her?
30 seconds left.
To see. Yeah, okay, yeah, there we go. There's a kill onto
One enemy
Cutie,
remaining.
and another. Oh, this Skyrus getting it all done. 3 kills for her, and well, a thrifty round for BDE.
A bit of a fight back finally started to come on through from BDE. They have seen a bit of a resurgence, revival in their play, and well, certainly good to see that players like Ashlyn starting to climb back on up into the leaderboard on the KD side as well. 3-11 is still very much of an uphill battle. Atlas, I feel like there's still a lot of things that need to be done by BDE for them to bring it back, but yeah, the chances are never zero.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they've got an excellent attack side cooked up. I mean, it is worth mentioning that I believe they had the choice. So they were the ones to get the final pick, right? In a best of one, they've got a map full of 7 maps, so you go ban, 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 and then you pick one. So I believe Brat Division was the team that got that final choice between the last 2 maps. It's something like Lotus and Haven or Lotus and Split that were the ones that were left. Or was it Lotus and Ascent? I don't know. But they picked Lotus, so they wanted to come here. I've been told it was Lotus Split. But yeah, they chose Lotus over Split. And they had just played Split, so who knows, maybe they've got a good plan here. Nice opener from Cine. I mean, he got brought down to extremely low HP from that shorty, but I mean, hey. At the moment, it's just looking like eco frags here. They're just walking around, getting ones left, right, and center. Or to be more accurate, left and center. They didn't... Oh, actually, no. Left, right, and center. One on each part of the map. There we go.
That's the one, yeah.
Last player standing.
No.
Perfect opportunity there, yeah. Malachi does get the better of Tida as well. It's all down to Az to do anything, and unfortunately, yeah, the Classic does not make it work at all. 4-11, will slowly but surely climbing it back on up, but not over yet. Far from it, as a matter of fact. Plenty of work to be done. I do, though, want to see that return to form, though. BD deserve a bit more of a resurgence. They deserve their opportunity to really, you know, show what they can actually bring to the table, and I think this attack may just be, you know, the one to do it for them.
You want to play? Let's play.
Gonna pop that tour de force and grab a quick opener. Excellent kill, getting ahead of that fault line. I mean, this is a very common play to see here on Lotus, where, you know, you get that fault line out and you start pushing for it. But I mean, interesting to say that I don't think the Jet was a great pick from AZ. You know, if you had a raise, maybe you'd be throwing the paint shells alongside the fault line, that would very much, you know, dissuade a push out from the team. Whereas in that case, it was a nice opener from Ashlyn, and even though she has gone down since, the C site has been opened. Nice kill to come through
Spike
from
planted.
Though suddenly the tides have turned, and Shmimi fighting their way back into this.
Certainly so, with a player advantage as well. This is going to be a bit of a rough one for BDE to try to bring on back. Izana already gets 1, that's 2 gone. That's a whole clear out of the site as well. The fuse should be basically all swift and sound, so that's 12.4 Shimimi, and 1 more round left. The match point is now upon us. Atlas. And for BDE, they lost their last final, you know, room for comfort or room for error. And from here on out, they do want to bring it all back. It needs to happen pretty straightforwardly without any sort of mucking around.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is definitely a bit of a Hail Mary timeout here. I'm a little bit surprised we didn't see one come out on the defense.
Oh yeah, you should have came through.
Didn't we? I think.
Oh no, yeah, you did. Yeah, sorry.
Yes. So this is the second time out, but yeah, I mean, what do you do, right? I mean, I feel like they've got the first. Did they get the first kill in that last round? What happened?
I believe they did.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they did. Yeah, it was Ashlyn swinging out with the tour de force to get that opener. So they're getting advantageous situations, but they're just unable to close it out in the late rounds. Which is, yeah, really unfortunate, because when you get that first kill like that, just a freebie, and you get out cleanly, to not then convert the round, it's definitely a feels bad situation. But hey, as the timer starts again, we'll have to see what their adjustment is.
Exactly so. 13 seconds before we potentially see the final round of Shmimi versus Brat Division, but let's see if that is going to be the case. Hopefully the timeout did bring back the morale of the currently attacking team in full, as the full-on offensive from the defense coming on through.
Potentially avoiding the security, although with that boombox revealing the positions.
Spike down A.
Well, Brat Division will. I feel like we'd be better off keeping ourselves hidden there.
Oh.
But needless to say, bit of a reply on the other side of the map. It's really down to Sabi to try and make something happen here against these 3 flanking players. Oh wait, but the spike's down, so they're not flanking at all. They're just gonna be holding the smoke. I think this might be wraps for BDE. Unless Ashlyn can make something happen. I mean, you've got 55 seconds to play with. You can go for a round one, try and go for the backstab, but surely at this point, it's too little, too late. I mean, Shmimi, that's after that round that we just saw, where Ashlyn was able to get that first kill, to then come back, do that A aggression again, and have it work so well. I mean, that's really the story of this map. They just had the better plan, the better players, and they're going to be taking things
This is how it ends.
for team. As, well, Cthulhu, that's it.
That's it. Yeah, that's that. Arguably, the one matchup that I feel had a really good amount of potential, but just I feel whether it's the question of the endurance came into the unfortunate play, or whether it was something else, or the tilt from the previous game for BDE. It certainly played a really, really grim joke here on the roster. As unfortunate as it is, can't really blame them. Look, it is still the first day, albeit, I'm of the opinion that the sooner you start earning the points, the easier it will get in the further days, or even on the much more unfortunate days. But look, maybe today was the day for BDE to really redeem the unfortunate day card for themselves, and maybe moving forward they'll be able to really bring it all back in terms of their pacing. But otherwise, look, yeah, massive congrats for Shmimi. They've shown utter domination, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, they'll be feeling good here in this first day of the Exsto Athena series. I believe they're probably up near the top of Group 1. They haven't dropped the map, and they've been absolutely dominant. I don't think we have a group standings graphic just yet, but we will have one for tomorrow. So yeah, that is going to be all from us here tonight. But we will be back same time tomorrow with another 3 games for the round robin group stage for Group 1, and then next week we'll be going over to Group 2, 6 brand new teams. But hey, we'll probably have some familiar faces here tomorrow, so make sure you tune in. But for now, thank you everyone for watching. I hope you've had a good time, and we will see you all later.
Laters.